Hey guys, hang on. Hi everyone. In today's video, I am discussing 5 secrets to strengthen your singing voice, decrease strain, and increase power. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to go through 5 secrets, and these are the secrets to really strengthening your voice, decreasing strain, increasing power and resonance, and feeling this within a short period of time. And all of that is available to you within the right method that you're using. So, vocal technique should enhance the singer's natural voice without manipulating sound or taking away style. I know a lot of singers talk to me about this, and I know it was a concern of mine early on. That I really didn't want to train to sound like a Broadway singer or an opera singer. Anybody else feel that? I really wanted just to be a stronger singer, to be a better singer, right? And so, just like athletes improve their natural talents with technical training, when you're using the right methodology, when you're using a biomechanical method that trains the physical technical instrument, the same approach really applies. And here's the thing, because overuse of the wrong muscles, the thing about singing is you can only wing it for so long. And when you really want to, you know, be a professional in the industry or be successful or have a voice that stands up and delivers when you want it to, you really need to know what you're doing, right? And so the right sequences and techniques will strengthen the core vocal production, the technical voice, and greatly improve sound and tone and range and endurance and health and longevity and stamina and decrease tension. So there's a lot of techniques. There's a million vocal coaches now, all espousing what they believe is the best techniques, myself included. I think there is a difference, though, between what I call window dressing techniques, which just adjust the sound on the surface, or place it here, place it there, or use quick techniques to get an immediate result, but it's a fleeting result. It's not something that really lasts. So today I'm going to be talking about secrets and methods that last, that really get to the core of the voice and make those improvements on a physical level to make you a stronger singer, and then don't change your state, your sound and style. They don't take away your style, right? So I'm not saying, oh, make the O sound like this, or make this vowel sound like that, or here you need to do this, manipulating the sound on the surface. We strengthen the core instrument, and then when you go to sing with your sound and style, it only enhances the natural style. Okay, so the thing is, uh, especially when we're talking about strain and we're talking about stamina and we're talking about, increasing power, that there is a natural wear and tear that is inevitable on all voices and singing in general. So, the Dr. Pete Wu, who is one of the head otolaryngologists, voice doctors here in New York, and surgeon, and he's the inventor of the stroboscopy that you can look at the actual vocal folds, right? And he said that the impact of a 45-minute set for an artist singing, in full performance mode is equivalent to the wear and tear on a linebacker in football of a 2-hour game. So, there's no question that as you sing, and even more important, why you need to really know what you're doing to be able to last. I know I went for training. I was singing in a rock band. I had started off singing folk songs, Joni Mitchell, Cat Stevens, Jackson Brown, Bonnie Raitt, Linda Ronstadt, all that stuff. And I really never had a problem with my voice when it was acoustic. And the minute that I started performing with a band, then I had to really project my voice. And I didn't know what I was doing. I did not have technique at that point. And I went searching on a search for the right technique. And it took me, I had to go through many different vocal coaches to really find a technique that I felt was thorough and actually worked, that strengthened my voice and didn't make me sound musical theater or opera, which I didn't want. And so, it's there's a wear and tear that occurs with professional singing. There is a inflammation that occurs from a normal set, and that's why we have our warm-ups, we have our cool downs, we have our conditioning, which is a new term that I'm coining, conditioning exercises that are from the cool down set, the original cool down set, that reduce inflammation at the actual vocal folds and really help to condition the instrument to keep it healthy. So the warning signs, you want to prepare ahead of time before there are issues, or make a plan to recover now from existing problems. If you're experiencing early fatigue or worried whether your voice will hold up, now is the time to prepare. You want to prepare ahead of time before there are issues, or make a plan to recover now from existing problems. So some of the warning signs to look for is a decrease in range. If you're experiencing, oh, I'm having more trouble hitting those higher notes, or I'm losing my voice, or I'm raspy or hoarse at the end of my gigs and not recovering as quickly as I normally do. Maybe it's even extending into the next day. And maybe it's taking longer to warm up in the morning, that kind of thing. This is not normal for the voice, no matter your age, no matter how long you've been singing, and it will only increase. It's a sign of the voice, not, you could say deteriorating, or it's starting to have some dysfunction. It's starting to have, inflammation that's not going away as it normally does. You're not recovering as quickly. And the thing I want to say to all of you is that don't accept a less than healthy and strong instrument, right? I mean, you may not all have strength because you may not all have trained with the right method. But vocal health is a really important thing. The last thing a singer needs is to worry about whether their voice is going to deliver. And there are ways to avoid that, right? So the things I'm going to discuss today are the 5 secrets are: 1, how to strengthen your voice; 2, how to decrease tension and strain; 3, how alignment and anchoring the laryngeal muscles really provide that power and strength, and how they really affect those things; how to expand your sound; and then how to sing with more power and resonance. And I want to say really quickly that I created a free 4 1-hour workshop. It's called the Better Voice Challenge, and it's up right now until the end of September. So I would get a seat in that. And for those of you over here on YouTube, I have to go type it in Instagram, but you can go see it. You can see it mentioned in our YouTube, today's stream. You can see it on my website at carriecole.com. You can always just search Carrie Cole Better Voice Challenge, or just Better Voice Challenge, and it'll pop up. I recommend that you do that, because everything I'm going to lead you through today will lead you through in 4 1-hour sequences all of these things, and you will experience a shift in your voice. So I made that free for the time being. So go and grab that while you still have access to it. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is how to strengthen your voice. So wherever you are, there is more strength available to you, especially when you work with a biomechanical method that is actually changing the physical, technical voice and making improvements in the core of the singing voice. First, we have to strip away the compensatory muscles that jump in to help, that if you're using the back of your neck, or using your jaw when you're singing, or you're using these accessory muscles, or you're squeezing your forehead, or, you're using these additional muscles that surround the voice to grab that note, or to sing with more strength, or that kind of thing, or you're tucking your abdomen. These things are not solid techniques. So they will cause vocal problems. They'll cause constrictions and tensions on the vocal instrument, which will lead to early fatigue and burning out. So the first thing is knowing that not all vocal techniques are created the same, and finding the right one that has an in-depth process that addresses biomechanics and is based in vocal science, which my cold vocal method is. So building vocal strength and freedom is possible for you no matter where you are in your voice, especially when you haven't done these specific methods. And if you haven't trained with me, you haven't done these specific methods. So to really be able to hit high notes with ease and precision and be able to last singing for hours and hours and hours is really the ticket to a successful performance and confidence in your singing voice, right? So if you want to learn more, go and experience the Better Voice Challenge. And you can also find on my website, we have a tab called the Cold Vocal Method. Click on that and you can learn all about the method, the history, how it came about, what it consists of, how it works, and go and check it out. Because building strength is really the key, and alignment and all of the technical things. And then really stripping away the compensatory muscles, isolating the core vocal muscles, which we do these funny exercises, as I was talking about in my Instagram post today, that they really work. It's the only thing I've ever found that actually really worked. And I've done all of them. I've done speech solo singing. I've done all of the techniques, but this is an actual system. So the first thing you want to do is really go through that process to learn how to strengthen the voice. Number two, decreasing tension and strain. So the key to decreasing strain and improving a strong, healthy sound from your voice and endurance and stamina and power and all of those things that we need is what I was talking about just a moment ago, is stripping away the unnecessary tension surrounding the voice and then to establish more support and deeper breathing. I'm happy to see that vocal massage and laryngeal manipulation are getting more time in the airspace out there. People are finally starting to talk about that. I've been using these methods for 38 years to be exact. And I got into them more, I would say, 25 years ago. I studied massage. I've studied with student divider Rolf. And so I've been applying these methodologies because I was always looking for ways, I'm here in New York City. I'm teaching, one of the top coaches. I was on the board of directors for New York Singing Teachers Association, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just telling you that to let you know the level of craft and trade that is expected of me in my field, where I'm getting, referrals from the top ENT doctors to get these singers in working order and to fix problems. And so I was always looking for, holistic methods and methods that would fix things very quickly. And one of the things that I started to realize early on, probably because of my studies with Alexander training and Feldenkrais, which are bodywork methods that support the singing voice. They're not vocal techniques, but they're physical methods that really help the singer start to have less tension in their bodies and holding their alignment more correctly. And then my interest in massage and body work and led me to study it, and then led me to integrate it into the technique. So when you do the Better Voice Challenge, you're going to be doing some of those vocal massage methods and release methods to experience what it's like when you start to release the tension surrounding the vocal instrument, right? So let's just do a quick exercise. So let your head gently drop forward. Just let it drop, okay? And think of it as dropping, right? And breathe into your upper back, and then let your head slump even more. And now breathe into the neck where you feel the tension as you're stretching. Breathe into that, like you're going to puff that area out with breath, and then let go of the weight of the head even more. And one more time, breathe into the back of the neck and let the head slump even further forward, even against the pain of the stretch, and really let go. And then slowly return your head to upright. So this is an example of a very simple method that releases the back of the neck decreasing tension and strain in the voice, because a lot of singers will grab the back of their neck. You know, when you see singers reaching forward with their chins and doing this motion, which I used to do all the time before I was trained, because the back of the neck is a very convenient muscle to get that extra support, but it actually tightens and constricts the voice and causes vocal problems. So the singers always need to release the back of their neck. And you'll find in my Instagram or on YouTube, you'll find quick little mini voice lessons for how to release tension in the throat, and a bunch of different areas. But in the Better Voice Challenge, if you follow along, I give you 8 sequences. So there's 8 sequences over those 4 one-hour sessions, and it's free right now until the end of September. So make sure that you get a seat in that, so you can go through the experience yourself and go through all of the stretches and go through all of the vocal massage and the laryngeal manipulation and the vocal exercises and the alignment pieces to really get a feeling of an experience of what I'm talking about here in this video today. So, make a note of what areas feel specifically tight. Is it your jaw? Is it your throat area? Is it the back of your neck? Is it the sides of your neck? Where do you have the most tension? Do you have tension in your shoulders? Do you have tension in your abdomen and diaphragm area? Does it feel really tight? Make a note of what areas feel tight, and then make a note of, I want to work on that. I need to go for body work with a vocal coach like myself who knows how to release them, go do the Better Voice Challenge, et cetera, et cetera. The third secret is align and anchor. So and I talked about it a little bit just a moment ago. So when I was talking about training with the Alexander technique and training with Feldenkrais, which are 2 body work modalities and alignment modalities that really help to decrease the tensions in the voice and align the body so that you're singing more correctly. Many singers struggle with power and endurance in singing. They're really unsupported by, learning the correct movements, alignment, how to anchor the laryngeal muscles, what that even means, how to use the alignment to actually support the body. So you're singing from the collarbones down, not the collarbones up. And that takes a while to really learn it, but you learn it by practicing movements that teach that support and that alignment. And we do that in the Better Voice Challenge. Day 3 is align and anchor. So once you sign up, you're taken to the 4 videos, and you can see each day, even on the opt-in page, you can see each day what each day is. Day 3 is align and anchor. Without the proper support, the voice will fall back on the throat, ruining the voice and wearing the voice out quickly, early fatigue. And the voice won't reach its full potential in sound, and definitely not in power, because using those muscles surrounding the voice will constrict and limit the range, and again, cause early fatigue. So it's important that we provide the right support. We learn how to use the body. We learn how to use the trunk and the torso to support the sound adequately, taking the strain off the voice. The majority of people, as much as 90%, have a slightly dropped chest and a slightly forward head. And that a lot is because we're on our devices and our heads are forward. We have to understand that the weight of our head is 10 to 15 pounds. So if my head is 10 to 15 pounds and it's forward, I have a forward head and rounded shoulders and shortened pectorals, I have no support. I'm singing from the collarbones up, right? And if the head is 10 to 15 pounds, what is holding the head over my body? My neck muscles. So my neck muscles go into contraction, which then constricts the instrument, cuts you off from your breath supply, and cuts you off from the support in the body. So, we really work as singers. One of the very first things that the Nashville Voice Center does, which is the place that most singers here in the U.S. go when they're on tour and they lose their voices. They go to the Nashville when it becomes serious. They go to the Nashville Voice Center, and one of the first things that they do is they do pectoral exercises, and not just regular push-ups. They do push-ups in a door jamb or in the corner of a room, so that you're stretching the pectoral while you are strengthening it. You're lengthening the pectoral while you're strengthening it. Why do they do that? Because the pectoral muscles are the very first muscles that anchor the laryngeals. They give the laryngeals some strength in a way that is healthy for the body, takes the pressure off the throat, right? So the minute you go to sing with more power, you tend to tighten here, right? And then that, it actually mutes the voice. And you might be able to get away with it for a while. I mean, some strong singers can. I remember Alicia Keys back in the day when she first came out. You could see her singing like this, but her voice sounded fantastic, right? But I knew as a vocal coach that that was going to wear her out. And sure enough, over time, now we see her with her chin down. So she's avoiding using the back of the neck, right? Over on the blog, you'll find my alignment adjustment where you can, experience getting more incorrect alignment and what that means. But it all starts with having a little bit more of a lifted chest so that you're supporting the voice and not falling back on the voice. Number 4 is really to expand your sound, and that is day 4 in the Better Voice Challenge. The mistake to getting more sound is not in pushing more air or volume to make it louder, but actually in connecting to the body using the right support. That's why we kind of do it in this order, that frees the instrument to resonate louder. So if I'm singing and I'm reaching forward and I'm tightening and I'm going, ah, but if I go, ah, listen to the difference in sound. And I'm exaggerating that motion so that you can hear the difference, right? So using the right support, keeping the head back over the body, building a little bit stronger pectorals. You'll see in the stronger singers, like Teddy Swims is a good example. He's barrel chested and his pectorals are very available. He's not sunken in here. So those of you that have longer torsos, it's a little bit harder. You have to work a little harder on the pectorals because it's a longer distance. The support is a longer distance. And again, a lot of people are pronated in their shoulders, which is causing them to sing from their throats. So when you want more body in your sound, when you want more power in your sound, you need more body, more physical body in your sound. And this took me a while as a singer to really embody. And I think that's why I'm so detail oriented when I teach, to really break it down for you to understand and experience the difference. A lot of people will say, oh my gosh, nobody ever explained it the way that you did, or walked me through the exercises where I could actually feel a difference in it. Because I, again, was looking for answers and I needed to feel it in my body. And I think most of us are disconnected from our body when we're singing, again, because it's all up here and we're using these muscles and we're thinking here and we're thinking throat and all of that. But the body actually really supports the richness and the resonance in the sound. And it's not about squeezing the abdomen. A lot of people say, tighten your abdomen. Well, if you tighten your abdomen really hard right now, just like tighten it. Do you feel the tension in your throat, right? So that tucking the abdomen in when you're singing, and some vocal coaches teach that, it's an incorrect motion. It might get an immediate, fleeting result, but it causes vocal problems over time. So we really need to learn how to keep the abdomen extended, to keep the ribs extended, to keep the diaphragm down, all of these pieces. And that's why I put all of these movements together in a sequence so that you can practice those, rehearse those, and then reprogram the body so it's delivering more volume, more power with less strain, right? And number 5 leads me to is singing with more power and resonance. So to expand vocal resonance, it really starts with undoing. The more you tighten, the more you tense, the more you constrict. So singer has to learn where to have the right tension in the pectorals without tightening the throat, in the rib expansion, with the ribs staying expanded, using the back of the ribs actually, and those muscles back there to stay expanded, especially at the moment of onset, so you don't dump all of your sound, right? I'm going to open it up for questions. We have 5 minutes left. So those of you on Instagram or over on Facebook or over on YouTube, go ahead and put your questions in the comments so that I can answer them. a couple of things for you guys to know if you really want to learn the method. So for the free version, you can go out of the method, but of the 8 sequences that actually create less tension and strain and align and anchor and help you experience more resonance is inside the Better Voice Challenge workshop that's available until September 25th. So you'll find it everywhere on my links. Go and get a seat in that. Number 2, if you want to learn the method is taught, the co-vocal method is taught inside the Vocal Freedom Circle. And you will find we have a special offer. So if you don't find that special offer, it's at $497 right now. If you don't find that, write into info, and that's going until the 25th of September also. And that is 8 modules. It's a self-study course. It comes with live Zoom, private Zoom, within the group with me once a month, and 8 modules and 75 exercises on video and audio in 20-minute sequences to learn the co-vocal method. And then starting in October, on the 22nd of October, I lead our annual vocal program. So we go for a whole year. So if you're really looking for something serious, to immerse yourself in an incubator immersive type experience, we teach it on Zoom. We meet 3 times a month, and you go through, it's almost 200 vocal exercises. We start with level 1, and then we move into level 2. And that registration is not open yet. It opens next week, but you will find the links in Linktree on Instagram, and join our lists or join the wait list on the Vocal Mastery Program. So that starts on October 2nd, and come and join us. That's an incredible program. Matter of fact, we just started it last year. It's the first time I'm teaching level 2. I've been teaching it in my private studio forever. But I formulated it all into a method over the past couple of years. So I'm teaching that inside the Vocal Mastery Program. Any which way, get yourself going and start to really train. We have so many people that took it last year that are taking it again because it's so robust and such a deep program. They just want to stay in process working the method, and the results are incredible. Anybody have any questions before I go? As always, join me on my live streams at 12 p.m. Eastern, broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook and on Instagram. And I was away for several weeks. I'm now back, and we'll go straight through until Thanksgiving. I'll take a little break, and then we'll go straight through until the 18th of December when I take another break. But come and join us every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Sign up for the Better Voice Challenge, sign up for the Vocal Freedom Circle, and consider the Vocal Mastery Program. For those of you that are more interested in artist development, because we have those 2 lanes at my company, you would start with Step Up to the Spotlight, which is actually a full artist development program where you map your plan, you up-level your craft, you get your brand together with our 22 essential brand elements and map your plan for the business and really get yourself in the business instead of on the outside. Well, thanks for joining me today. It's always a pleasure. Yes, Alexis, I see your note over here. Resonance is super important, and a lot of folks lack. So I'm bringing you back to guide ours back to sovereignty, voice masters. Yeah, the voice is an incredible instrument, and when you treat it with the right methodology, it's unbelievable. It took me a long time to find this technique, and once I found it, I was hooked because it doesn't take away your sound and style and make you sound like a musical theater singer, but it strengthens your natural sound and builds an instrument that far surpasses what you have right now. So come and join us, and thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everyone.